I just can't.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NECC Rocket League week number 2. My name is Bass from the Past, and joined alongside me, Chase Nuclear Nukem. How are you doing today, my friend?
Bass, I am brimming with excitement for the matches that we have today. I'm telling you what, I've been waiting for it all day. Work coming to a close, Caston coming in, and I am ready to see Nichols College versus Springfield College in this set we have coming up.
I am extremely excited for this very first match we have today. A little bit of a shorter schedule than we had last week. We're going to have 6 total matches, but I can promise you this, every single one will be just as much a banger as we had last week. It was a phenomenal start to the season, and I cannot wait for this to just keep on rolling. We have got hit after hit after hit, and like you said, Springfield versus Nichols for our first game. This is a Division I game, East Coast, and this is going to be quite the matchup between the two of them. Both of these teams have had a pretty hot start, so honestly, I'm excited for this one. Looking ahead towards this matchup, though, I'm not going to necessarily be able to pick a side, but you guys in chat will be able to. If you'd like, you can predict with your channel points in the chat, so make sure to do that and keep along with everything that is going on here at the NECC. So, Chase, we had a phenomenal first week. I know that you, unfortunately, are probably not going to be able to get on as much as some of the other casters that we always have around, but getting you in to start off this week was one of my favorite things I was able to do. Having you in Rocket League, how has it been to, start off this season?
Starting off the season has been actually tremendous for Rocket League. Last week, I got to cast St. Clair versus Durham College, which was just a phenomenal set to look at. Durham did win against St. Clair 3-0, but it was such a close set. There's actually a point in the set where Durham in the third game faked a flip reset to get a goal off of their second rotation, and it was just, I was completely poggers over here, just screaming my mind off. It was wild. But going into the set today, you talked a little bit about Nichols versus Springfield. You may be a little sitting just on the fence on who's going to win here, but I got to put my money where my mouth is. I think Nichols College is going to take the set today, just based on their record alone. They've not gotten 3-0'd yet this season, and the only loss that they have was in the preseason against Montclair State, and they lost 2-3. So very, very close performance from them, and I'm just eager to see what goes on in this week.
Yeah, and as am I. I mean, this is really such a telling week, second week in. It's a good chance to recover for some of the teams that had taken a loss in their first week. It's a good chance for teams that took a win in their first week, to try and just continue that momentum. So we're really going to have to find out what the teams are made of today. I really do think above everything, though, we're going to have some absolutely phenomenal games nonetheless. So we're just waiting on getting everybody into the lobby here, and as soon as we have everybody in, we should be all ready to go. So I'm excited.
Listen, I know you're trying not to call anyone out. It's me. I'm getting in the lobby now. Okay, I'm trying my best over here. I didn't see we had the password up, and I am getting in because I am hype. I'm ready to go. Nichols versus Springfield. It's time, baby.
Yes, indeed. We've got everybody in here. I think we're about ready to give the teams the signal and to let them know that they are good to join in. Oh, wait. I think we've got everybody in.
Oh.
Indeed we do. All right, everybody has hit the field. 2 teams on the board. Nichols versus Springfield College, game number 1 in a best-of-5 series. Good luck to both squads. Let's see what they've got as this one goes back into the blue half, the Nichols half. We've got Springfield on orange, blue, and Nichols on blue. And oh my word, Springfield look like they're already starting off with a bang. A little bit of hesitation in front of the goal here, and it will get punished. React gonna bang this one into the top right. Or bottom right, excuse me.
Yeah, React doing what he does best, reacting with that 2-second hope straight off the kickoff, getting a point on the scoreboard for Springfield. That's going to be massive going into this set.
Absolutely, a good start. Only 10 seconds in, really, and they've already gotten that lead. But here come the counterattack now. Nichols going to try and run with this one. Riley can't quite get it to the center. Oh, but React isn't going to get it out either. The dunk from Army's Son is going to put that one through, and Riley will make sure to finish it off. This was such a good 50-50 in front of the net.
What a good rotate from Riley, too. He saw the opportunity. He knew Tunasav was not going to get in there in time, and he knew he just had to go for it to tie up the scoreboard. Just less than 30 seconds in.
Already a very, very quick start out of both teams here. This is going to be a competitive match for sure, and possibly a high-scoring one. No one is there to finish that one off, but almost another chance for Nichols. But they will continue to run with this one, or maybe not. I thought we'd get a 50 out of midfield, but instead, here comes Springfield. They're starting to mount an offense as well. Into the corner this one goes. Sharky, though, is going to have to be patient on this, as Riley will come down with the dunk. the 50-50, and it will lead them to some possession out of midfield. High pop, though, will go straight to Bones, and oh my word! I thought that was the end of it, but apparently not. TunaSav is going to read this. We're continuing to have a high-action game here, Chase.
Wow, yeah, he carried it straight off of Bones, too. Bones basically handed it to him. That was a really, really great angle and great boost from TunaSav to get there in time. Really, we see that Nichols College is showing up strong, coming back with 2 points, one after another, in less than a minute into the game.
This has been a very, very hectic start so far. I do feel like these teams might need to slow down a little bit. So far, we're seeing, I'm not going to say unforced errors, but maybe some hecticness just because of how fast they're playing. If you're either one of these teams right now, you're going to have to try and focus on precision. High-scoring game going back and forth like this doesn't really favor either squad. It's kind of a little bit left up to chance. It's just, you know, back and forth this one goes. Speaking of which, though, finally we get a little bit of a breakdown of pace here out at the midfield. Bones, though, and try and carry this one in the back corner. That's not a touch that they can make. Riley wants the double tap, but doesn't have the boost. And unfortunately, Nichols will not be able to continue their lead, but their offense is starting to look pretty deadly.
Yeah, Nichols' offense is looking very strong right now. They definitely know, they're definitely showing their ball control. The rotations are coming out. Even the passing plays, right? At this level, you have to have the passes down par if you want to get these scores, because the teams are not just going to let you get in there, right?
They're not going to make it easy at all. You have to have a heck of a shot to make it through. Speaking of which, Riley is going to go bar and out there, almost able to slot it in. And again, though, Riley can't quite get the shot they're looking for. But again, the offense is starting to look electric here. Riley definitely on top right now. Possibly going to get an assist as well, but Tuna can't quite get the shot on. Wild Army Sun will try to continue to play, but still, it's not going to make much of a difference. Nichols have had this offense on lock for quite some time. Springfield have really struggled to get out of their own half, and they continue to do so as we get down to about the 2-minute mark now.
Yeah, we see Wild trying to set up a couple of backboard plays for his 3-on-Tuna. Riley's just going to take that freebie. All the love over to Riley. Wow, let's see this mid. He gets the 50 off of React. The immediate turnaround, he saw that they were all trying to push aggressively and took advantage of it as no one was sitting on Springfield's side of the field.
Yeah, Sharky's just a little bit too aggressive there. And again, this is going back to what I was talking about at the very beginning of the game. They're playing with a little bit too much pace. In certain teams, it's not really as advantageous for them, oh my word, to stay as fast as they can go. Riley trying to interrupt my sentence with a heck of a double tap. Can't quite get there. But regardless, right now, this is still a clicked offense for everybody off of Nichols here. Really, all three players working in sync. Riley is definitely the front man, just taking shot after shot as they have four. But still, all three players off of Nichols right now are really doing their best here, making sure the pressure continues. And with only a minute 30, they don't even need to score. They just need to keep it going, but they just might. Can't quite get a shot off there. Again, Nichols really do look in control of this game.
Yeah, Nichols is coming out strong. Riley is doing his best to really set up points for your team. I really liked what you said earlier about getting those shots off and setting up those opportunities. You know, he's acting as like almost a permanent first for his team. Most teams you rotate with your first, second, and third, but Riley's really kicking it off almost every time and setting up those opportunities for his teammates.
Yeah, and it really goes to show that they all are playing into their roles correctly here. Wild Army Sun has not made any saves, but only has one shot, and you can just tell that they're waiting on the back half, trying to back up their team. There's another good clear out of Army Sun that's going to put that one all the way into their opponent's half, and after a short-lived offense for Springfield, it was an easy clear, so just all three players really working how they're supposed to on this three-man rotation. With only about 40 seconds left, Springfield are probably not going to be focusing on winning this game as much as they are going to be trying to readjust going into the next one. Looking ahead here, definitely a change. There are some changes they need to make. What do you think is the first thing we need to see out of Springfield going into this next game?
Well, the first thing is really momentum and really focusing on when you're offending, when you're offending, and when you're in defense, right? You need to know when you're in the disadvantaged state moving forward. And I really think Nichols is really able to just capitalize on the situations. Riley scoring off the scoreboard once again, taking it up off the side from Wild Army Sun's touch and going in. You know, I talked about this last week. I will reiterate on it again. If you cannot play off of anyone touching the ball, right, you shouldn't be in this part of the division, because this division is all about playing on touches and those 50s and capitalizing where you see it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things right now is we're seeing that from Nichols, that 50 line everywhere at the midfield. They are just jumping on top of it, giving themselves opportunities on repeat right now. And unfortunately, that is part of the issue we're seeing for Springfield. They just didn't get as many opportunities. 10 total shots for Nichols versus the 2 we saw for Springfield. Really not an easy scoreline to try and fight with there. If you only have 2 shots, it's going to be very difficult to beat the 4-goal scorer against you. So for right now, we have to see some sort of difference in rotation for Springfield. They need to get out of their own half a little bit quicker, and once they do, they have to put on shots with a lot more ferocity. They just don't seem to be as vicious once they get into the attack versus Nichols, which are unrelenting. It was just shot after shot after shot that entire
Yeah, look at Riley. Look at Riley. He had 6 shots that game and got 3 goals off of those 6 shots. If you look at Springfield, they had 1 goal and 2 shots total. And if you look at Nichols' side, they had actually 0 saves. They went full aggression there. So if I am Springfield going into this next game, I am hunkering down. I'm talking about how I can throw Nichols off of their game to get those points that we desperately need in that aggression.
Yeah, there's got to be something to try and just make your opponents feel a bit awkward. They looked so confident the whole time they were on the field. Even when they went into defense, it didn't really look like they were all that scared about what was going to happen. And that's really something you cannot afford. You have to make sure that your opponents are not only respecting you, but they are really being forced to do that during your gameplay. So as it stands right now, this is going to have to be a turnaround game for Springfield here. They are not completely out of this one, but for sure, Nichols look to be the favorites right now. 10 seconds into game number 2, and it looks like maybe we'll get an offense for Springfield, but Sharky can't make the touch. And we're back to the usual. Nichols are on the attack once again here. Let's see how long the momentum lasts.
I have a lot more faith in Springfield this game. I really think they just gotta they just gotta defend. First off, they've got to defend. Really playing off of these touches is everything, and they're not capitalizing on it because Nichols is just in their face every time they try to set up a play. This isn't the practice field. You can't expect that someone's just going to let you touch that ball. You got to be on top of it.
Yeah, that was just kind of unfortunate there. It's a little bit of the caster curse showing itself early, and it looks like the momentum is not going to stop here. Riley goes cross-court. Beautiful first touch and an even better follow-up. 2-0 here. Nichols are riding this momentum all the way to victory.
Riley went through everyone, including his own teammates, to score that goal and put them in the lead. What an amazing play from Riley.
Oh my word, and they're not quite done yet. Here comes the offense one more time here. Springfield are back into their own half yet again. We are seeing the same sort of struggles for Springfield right now. They've definitely got their shots here, but they've got to move with a little bit more anger and just viciousness. You can tell every time that they touch the ball, it just feels a little bit too weak. It doesn't feel like they're jumping as quick as they need to. Sharky gets a confident touch out to the side. Maybe an offense can start here. React's going to put one into the middle. Sav will make the save, but finally we're seeing some shots actually coming out of Springfield here. Maybe they can even get a goal, but Bones can't put it on target. Unfortunately for Springfield. Oh, wait a minute. I thought that would be the end. A bit of a misplay. We're actually seeing a bit of a possession play out of Springfield. It will eventually end here, and here come Nichols on the offensive. But it was nice to see Springfield actually get into their opponent's half, and we're starting to see their offense is getting a bit warmer.
Not just are they playing off that aggression play and really passing it to one another, they cause Nichols to all pair up on the ball right there. Sharky is going to be able to score. If you watch this play, Sharky's able to get it off the wall, off of Sav, capitalize on that touch, like I said earlier. But not only are they disrupting Nichols' rotations, they're causing them all to group up on the ball. And when you do that, that's a big no-no, because then you're going to get those passing plays past everyone just like we saw.
One of the more beneficial things that we saw in game number 1, as much as it really didn't seem like a benefit at the time, was the fact that Springfield really didn't force any defense out of Nichols the entire game. So now that they're forced into defense for the first time this entire series, it was a bit of a panic as they tried to figure out what to do. Taking advantage of the chaos is really one of the best things you can do at this level here. So Springfield have got to keep forcing those errors, got to keep forcing those weird positions out of Nichols. And if they do that, I believe they still have a shot here. They also do need to hold off the offense, though. Here comes the attacking aggression from Nichols. Into the corner this one goes. Riley going to try to pop it to the center. Wants the redirect and into the middle. It almost goes in. Can't quite get it past the side, but it will go off the post and get deflected. Still, though, Nichols, their offense still looks electric as ever. Unfortunately, another miss out of Riley, but they're just not going to stop. This is just unrelenting.
Are we playing Rocket League or ping pong? Because that ball is popping off every single side of that net, but not wanting to go in. I think, are seeing the first demo of the series from Bones on to Tunasav. And you know what? You brought up a great point earlier, Bass, and that is that they are putting Nichols in disadvantage. You know, they are putting them in those awkward states. I didn't even consider that, you know, the aggression is going to play a key part here and putting them off of their balance that they had game 1 of just consistently stuffing it. I really think as well, looking at a more aggressive play style here, they really need to look at their boost management and how much they're taking that away and crippling Nichols on their boost, because just watching it from a perspective, I'm watching Nichols play in the air a lot more than I'm seeing Springfield play in the air. They're playing with the more passive passing plays to get to net, while Nichols is just going through the air and stuffing it in the goal.
Yeah, they're just over and over taking these opportunities. If there's a little bit of space in the air, or really just a little bit of space on the field, they are taking advantage of it. It's a little bit more passive on the other side, and that's why they're getting opportunities like this. Riley going to continue to be this insane striker as they read the pass off of Tunasav and slot this into the net. 1 minute remaining, and this was definitely a better game for Springfield, but I'm not sure if they have what it takes to bring this back with only a minute left. The offense still doesn't quite seem to have. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to say the firepower it needs, but Bones will make me eat my words. A kickoff goal will give them a little momentum. Maybe they can run with this into the last minute.
Bonesaw is ready. Getting a second point of the game. Stuffing it back at him. You know, they have 1 minute left. This is a completely different game now. Instead of being down 2, they're only down 1, which is a much more manageable score to take into this final minute.
Absolutely. They need only 1 goal. The momentum is on their side, but unfortunately, the offense is not there in their back half defending yet again. A good pass out to Wild Army, son, and can't quite slot it in. They still are going to be on offense here, but if that one had gone in, that might be the dagger. That might have been the end of this one. Instead, we've got 30 seconds left, and there's still an opening here for Springfield. They need to get out of their half quickly, though, and as they are scrambling on defense, and the shots are ringing off, they've got to hold on. 2 of them go off the backboard and out, but the offense is still not done yet. A phenomenal save out of React, and I am losing my voices over and over again. These close calls keep happening. How many shots are Nichols gonna take?
I don't know, but Springfield, it's now or never. 2 seconds left on the clock. Sharky is not going to be able to take it downfield. You know, we saw React take a lot of shots there towards the end. Riley take a lot of shots there toward the end. And honestly, what I was talking about earlier with boost, he didn't have any boost to make the plays himself. He had the boost to get there and get the pass off, and that was it. Truly, that is what Springfield wanted to see, because that game 1, React was just taking it into the goal every time. Got 6 goals total off of that. So if they can take the knowledge that they took from the first 2 games, I don't know. Someone call the janitor, because this may be a reverse sweep.
They've got to try and run with the little bit of momentum they had at the end of that series there. Nichols really did start unloading shot after shot after shot, but to not be able to make a single one and to rack up 9 total saves is really a testament to how much their defense had to step up there at the very end. A lot of those shots did go off target, though, so I am wondering if, Nichols might be slowing down on offense here. Yes, I'm appreciating the fact that they had a total of 17 shots that game, but if they're going to take shots like that, eventually they've got to convert on something. So like you said, there is an opportunity here for Springfield. It's not a guarantee. It is very much not going to be easy for them, but I think they've got a shot here to try and get a couple games in and maybe get that reverse sweep, but they've got to start here in game number 3. It's not necessarily about getting the sweep quite yet. It's about getting that first win and continuing to survive. Game number 3 kicking off here. We have got to hope that we see the performance we've been waiting for out of Springfield. They kept it close in the last one. Can they win it here right now when it counts the most? We'll have to find out. They are on offense for the first time in quite some time. Can they do anything? Unfortunately not. Tuna is going to get the deny out at midfield here. And maybe now we see Nichols after the usual start. Will they be able to score quickly? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of great off-the-wall plays from Nichols. You know, getting those shots. Sharky setting up Tuna, Tuna setting up Army Sun. But, overall, I will say Springfield has better control in terms of how they're passing directly to their players, not off of the touches. So I could see Springfield, if they're able to make those grounded plays and get those saves out, I could see them taking the series. Like you said, this game is really going to determine the whole set. They can't afford to lose this one.
No, they cannot, and they are making those saves you were hoping for. So far, the defense has held strong, but they're still not able to get an offense started. Sharky going to make another one of those saves we were mentioning, but they need to now clear it and get something moving. Some good midfield play out of Sharky, but no one's there to follow it up. Riley will get a touch, then send it back into the Springfield half, and a bit of hesitation out here in the corner could lead to some issues. Indeed, it will lead to continued offense. Sharky doing whatever they can to try and get a shot off, and one will ring through, but Riley will make a pretty easy save, and React will try to continue the offense.
I don't know. If Riley would have just waited a second, or if Riley wouldn't have waited that second, right? If he would have just went for the boost like we saw him going for, that would have been an open goal. But, being able to have those reactionary plays and just telling your position from the ball the entire time is really what defines these divisions. And knowing the speed that it's going to take to get there. Is that a goal? That's going to be really close, coming from downtown on the side of Nichols.
Oh my word, that would have been a devastating way for this game to open on up after fighting so hard for over 2 minutes to just have one go cross court and pop on in. A devastating opener, but instead we remain at 0-0, 0-0 here. Maybe an opportunity for Nichols to try and slot one in, but a double commit will at least continue the offense, or so I thought. Tuna way back into their own half, giving some room here. Can Springfield finally get that lead that they've been working for? Maybe even get an offense? No, indeed not. Again, it's this hesitation. It really does look like they're just straight up being outpaced right now. Springfield are trying to catch up to every move that Nichols makes, and Nichols right now, they may not have the lead in terms of the score, but they still do seem to be in control in game number 3.
Oh, completely agreed. And actually, as we're watching game number 3, you can actually tell that both teams respecting the offense of the other team from that game 2. The third rotating back into the net, they're actually not just going back for the boost, but they are both teams, when they're going back for the rotate, they're sitting in the net and waiting. Almost an amazing shot from Sharky, but they've got 2 in goal ready and waiting there. See if React can get it back onto the other side, out of their court. He's now on a boost, stuck in midfield. Riley going for the shot. It's all up to Sharky and Riley. Sharky is going to be able to get it out. Tunisab going to get it back onto the side of Nichols, and the big demo coming out. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to capitalize like they want to off of it, though.
Well, maybe Springfield can do something here. Sharky wanted the double tap off the backboard, but we're finally starting to see that offense we've been waiting for Springfield. They've ripped off quite a couple impressive shots here, and this is not going to stop anytime soon, it doesn't seem. There's that patience, but they're using it correctly. Uh-oh, Bones, though, does get dunked by Riley there. Maybe a bit too patient, Bones wanted to catch this one and try to dribble through midfield, but a bit too high of a pop, and Riley is going to be there to jump without a hesitation. 1-0, Nichols look to sweep this one. They've got to hold on for one more minute, and it will indeed be brooms out.
You see, I was a little concerned there. I really thought that we were gonna see React be able to defend that goal. He just didn't get the flip off right, and due to that, they are going to suffer. Nichols now on the scoreboard, only 1-0 in this entire game so far. 40 seconds left. We've got to see Springfield close this gap and tie it up now.
Yeah, they've absolutely got to. Games like this are where you wish that every single regular season game was going to be a best of 7, but unfortunately they only get 5 here. Springfield definitely looking the best they have all series, but unfortunately Nichols are up to the test here. They've got to survive 20 more seconds, and they will take this win in a sweep. They might even be able to get another goal in, but Tuna's going to make a weird flip. No one's going to jump on it, though, and Wild's just going to carry this back into his own half. That was good time wasting, and it might be the nail in the coffin here. I'm not sure why Springfield didn't jump, but as a result, they are panicking to get one more offense off, and they will not. Nichols will sweep the series, take it in 3. So close for Springfield there. They almost were able to win that third one, and maybe they would have been able to continue that momentum into the next couple games, but we'll never know. Unfortunately for Springfield, they were not able to get at least one goal in and take us to overtime. Nichols will win the third in a very, very narrow fashion.
It's not often you see it in the animal kingdom, but it seems like this week the tuna will beat the shark. And in Nichols versus Springfield's match, we saw that pretty consistently all set. Riley, I think, coming out as the MVP of the set. He set up way too many shots for his team and really got those passive plays out that really defined the entire set. Even if you look in that last 20 seconds, they did get a demo off on Nichols. Springfield did, and it was a 2-3 situation, and Riley was able to take the ball back onto Springfield's side of the field so that they couldn't capitalize on that play, and that ultimately led to the ball just kind of being dribbled around until the clock ran out. So really, really great plays overall from everyone today, but Riley, definitely my vote coming in for the MVP of the game.
Absolutely, and a reasonable vote at that. Really just an offensive powerhouse all around, over and over again, ripping off shots. I believe shot leader every single game we were in there. So just well done all around, everybody off Nichols. Springfield really did play a great performance, especially at the end there as they started to really click in the right ways we'd been hoping for the entire series. But unfortunately, just not quite able to get there. But I will say, I do want to shout out Riley, but I'd also like to shout out Wild Armyson, who really played that great third man defense, played on the back half and was able to complete that rotation. You saw him rip off a couple of shots as well and get involved in the offense. I believe one game even having 5 shots themselves, but definitely a very defensive performance for Wild Armyson and really well done at that. Nichols, just really one heck of a performance overall.
Yeah. Springfield, they did, honestly, I thought their defense was great. I thought that they did a pretty decent job at their defense. They just didn't have the aggression on offense to really seal the deal in this set. Their control was awesome, in my opinion. They just weren't on top of it, right? And when you're playing someone who's very predictive in their control, like Nichols saw Springfield, you're able to kind of get in those moments when you need to and step in before they're able to respond. We saw multiple times Nichols challenging Springfield in the air and actually taking their air dribbles from them to get goals. And so moving forward, Springfield's got to be very careful about how they set up those shots and follow those up.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there's still a bright future for Springfield. They really did show the best of the best there at the very end. An unfortunate goal that goes through and they can't quite tie it up, but a very impressive performance. And if they can, replicate that going forward into the season, there's a lot of teams that I don't know if they'll be able to handle that and really be able to face that type of Springfield offense. So we're going to have to find out. We're going to have to see how they do throughout the rest of the season. GG to all the teams to the 2 teams that played so far, and we wish them luck in the rest of the season. But that season that we have is brought to you by a couple of people. We do want to give a shout out to all of our partners here at the NECC. So real quickly, we're going to give a shout out to a couple of them, maybe get the interview in and then we'll finish it out. But the first one we want to give a shout out to is MetaPro Gaming. MetaPro Gaming is a full service esports management, developmental, and consulting company. Meta provides esports coaching, collegiate esports management, arena design, and equipment. Visit them at metaprogaming.gg to learn more. We also want to give a shout out to Respawn. Respawn products are forged for all-day comfort for content creators, professionals, and casual players, or anyone looking to upgrade their setup. Yep, Chase is showing it off. Both him and I are very grateful. Respawn giving us some chairs here at the NECC, and they are absolutely incredible. They have been battle tested and achieve a level of comfort that leaves the competitors in the dust. Live to play another day with Respawn, your battle-ready partner.
And then our next our next sponsor is HyperX. HyperX, you've probably heard of them. You know, they're a pretty big headset company. They're almost at every LAN event you see. I'm wearing one of the stylish headsets myself, so is Bass. And so the HyperX mission is to develop gaming products for all types of gamers. Not just one, not just two. High-speed memory, solid-state drives, headsets, keyboards, mice, charging accessories for console players, USB flash drives, mouse pads, to the gaming community and beyond. There's so much that HyperX does. But they are the gear of choice for celebrity ambassadors, pro gamers, tech enthusiasts, and overclockers worldwide because it meets the most stringent product specifications and is built in with best in class components. Really, just personally, I got to tell you, HyperX is the headset to go with. Highly recommend. They have a lot of options on their website, both wired and wireless.
Yeah, absolutely. They have some great headphones. And, well, if you'd like to also, try and use those great headphones to listen to something, how about ESTV? ESTV is the first ever dedicated channel for esports and gaming personalities, the first channel devoted to 24/7 esports coverage, and can be found on a number of OTT platforms, including the Roku channel, Amazon Fire, Samsung TV Plus, Sling TV, and even Vizio FreeWatch. ESTV partners with the world's top gaming networks and production partners for the most robust esports content lineup on linear, online, and mobile. For more information, please visit www.estv.co. Again, www.estv.co to learn more about ESTV.
And our final sponsor of the afternoon, Helix Esports. So Helix Esports, didn't know much about it before I came to the NECC, but they offer world-class gaming and virtual reality experiences at the state-of-the-art esports centers throughout the entire United States. Helix Esports delivers professional esports experience to everybody, whether gamers choose to play, practice, and socialize with friends, or compete at the highest level. Helix Esports is the premier destination for gamers. Follow Helix Esports today at Helix Esports USA on Twitter.
Yes, and thank you again to all of the partners here at the NECC that make this possible. We would not be able to run this without you guys. A huge shout out to them. And another person we'd like to give a shout out to is the player that has now just joined us in the booth. Riley, welcome. How are you doing after you guys just had a very impressive win?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful, Riley. I'm telling you, man, you were able to capitalize off of some touches there and even kind of stole the cradle a bit in the plays that were going around. Tell us a little bit about what was going through your mind.
I appreciate that. I was trying to just play off the other team's mistakes and, work together with my teammates to get some goals because we've been really struggling lately. So, having a team that we've been playing against some really, really strong competition. So having some teams where we were able to capitalize on mistakes was really nice.
Yeah, you guys really did that throughout the entire game. It very much seemed from our perspective, from the outside looking in, that you guys were just outpacing Springfield for a lot of that. There would be openings on the field where you guys were jumping way quicker than your opponents, and I feel like that was very advantageous. Did you guys feel that when you were on the pitch? Were you sort of recognizing how fully one-sided the offense started becoming at certain points in the game?
Yeah, so our game plan before the game, we had been playing really sluggish and passive recently, which we think was the root of our struggle. So our main goal was just to outpace our opponents, make sure we boost starve them and make sure they can't clear the ball out of their half and just go to the ball as fast as we can and see what happens from there.
Wow. Well, I can tell you, you definitely capitalized on that, Riley. I'm also interested. We're able to see that, you're a freshman in college right now, and both of your teammates are seniors. What's that kind of mechanic like sitting on the team with a couple of experienced guys that have been on the roster?
I mean, it's honestly a fun time because they carry the experience. They're a little bit older. I mean, we just mesh really well, even though it's like a huge age difference. We really mesh well, and it's a good team dynamic overall.
That's awesome. I can even tell you from my college, we have a very similar dynamic going on with our team. So that's great. And I see that you actually share the same major in sports management. Are you tying that into esports at all? Any plans for the future in esports management?
I'm thinking about it. Just because the whole esports business is going to grow like over time. So who knows what opportunities are going to come about there.
For sure, for sure.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in all of those opportunities. We hope that you guys also have a continued success in your season. You guys have been doing great so far here. And honestly, before we let you go, the one thing we want to ask, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give while you're here in the booth?
Yeah, shout out to my teammates. They played really well today. Shout out to my coach. He's been really wanting a win like this. Shout out to you guys for casting it. You guys were great. It's always good to play on stream. And shout out to my parents and family. They're watching at home. So appreciate that.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much, Riley. We're going to let you go and celebrate with your team. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night, guys.
You as
Thank
well.
you very much. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for you and I, Chase. That was an absolute blast. I cannot believe, from what I thought would be a pretty close series to a sweep, definitely close within those games there. But man, Nichols showed up to play today, and that is almost an understatement in itself.
Yeah, Nichols definitely came in, and as Riley said, that was what they were working on this week. They were working on aggression and pace, and I would say it paid off, winning the 3-0.
Oh my word, did it ever. So we are not going to be done for the day quite yet. For myself and Chase, that's going to be it. Nuclear, thank you so much for joining me in the booth, brother. It is a pleasure as always. But unfortunately, like I said, that is it for you and I. Afterwards is going to be Lars Newt and Hyferia. They will be covering all the action for 2 games in a row. So don't go anywhere. We are going to take a quick little break, but when we return, we will have game number 2. So stick around. NECC Rocket League is not quite done. We will see you guys in just a moment.
Team information, because we were able to kind of